Hello and welcome to Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park for the third round of the 2017-18 Haiku Components New Zealand Formula First Championship. I'll bring in our Taupo-based expert, Jonathan Morton. Jonathan, finally Taupo is giving us some nice weather over the actual weekend this time. How do you think qualifying is going to go today?
I think, like always, at Taupo it's going to be a close affair. Obviously, nice weather, sun's out, so we should be similar lap times to yesterday, I would say.
Could you see it being sort of super close, as we haven't had that yet in Formula First this season?
Yeah, they've been very open so far. I think this one could come down to the last 1,000 possibly.
And yesterday after practice we saw that Amy Smith was going quite well in her car. Looks like they've got all the problems sorted there.
Yeah, they appeared to have a trouble-free day, and obviously they got affected quite badly by that crash at Manfield, unfortunately, and they've been in recovery mode ever since. So should be one to watch in qualifying.
And racing-wise, who do you see as is it going to be the top contenders still out there, or do you see someone new?
It's always going to be those top guys. Obviously, we've got to get qualifying out of the way first, establish our grid, Sue's at the front, and Sue can get the job done in the race.
Cool, thanks Jonathan. We'll talk to you later in the weekend, and now we move on to qualifying for round 3 of the New Zealand Formula First Championship, proudly sponsored by Haiku Components. So here we are at the end of Saturday at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park, qualifying in race 7 as the rain starts to come down. We've had a bit of thunder and lightning in the area, but apparently it's going to be fine tomorrow. As I bring in our Taupo-based local Formula First expert, Jonathan Morton. Jonathan, we've gone back to a bit of exciting Formula First racing for once.
Yeah, well, it all kicked off this morning qualifying where we actually predicted it quite right. It was going to be a super close qualifying session, and in fact came down to a thousandth of a second between Reece Hendelcox and Kaleb Ngatoa for the pole position.
It's great to see the closest of the classes come back, and also someone who did well in qualifying was Amy Smith.
Yeah, she was sensational. You know, she got all the right drafts, made the right moves, and she ended up on the second row of the grid.
Have to say I picked that one. I did say she went good well yesterday. Looking further down the grid, everyone was pretty much where they were, apart from perhaps Billy Fraser having some problems.
Yeah, they struggled with, I believe, ignition problems with that car, so unfortunately he didn't end up getting in a lap. But they got them fixed up for the race, and he had a pretty good race.
So now we have a few words with our pole man, Reece Hendelcox. Reece, pole position by 1/1000th of a second. You'd like to win these by the closest of margins, don't you?
Yeah, it was just pretty hard getting a clean lap in that, but we managed to get one in, so that was the main thing. It should be a close race.
So looking forward to the race. Another 8-lap adventure out there. Do you think it's going to be alright, seeing as you're in the prime position to perhaps hold off everybody else?
Hopefully it's better than the last Saturday race we had here, but we'll see what happens.
And last of all, what's for lunch? Because it smells pretty good here.
Chicken tender wraps, mate.
Oh, sweet. So good luck for the race. So with qualifying done, we moved on to race 7 in fine conditions. And what we had in store was some more epic Formula First racing, Jonathan.
Yeah, it was a tight battle at the front. The field quickly established itself into a couple of groups. There was a group of 3 at the front of Reece Hendelcox, Kaleb Ngatoa and Chris Simons. And then there was a bit of a gap back and another group of 3, Conrad Clark, Liam Foster and Callum Crawley. They seemed to be able to reel in the guys at the front, but then would again fall back, make mistakes and whatnot. But I think all eyes were on the battle for about 12th place, where there were 7 guys going at it to try and get the minor placings.
Absolutely, battling throughout the field and down the back. It was ferocious for 12th place, really battling for sheep stations. But up the front, it was all down to that last corner.
Yeah, absolutely. As we've come to accustom here at Taupo, it's all about setting yourself up down that back straight. And Reece Hendelcox, he was the man once again. He's obviously using all the experience he's gained from the last season, rookie season, and he was able to employ it to take another fantastic win.
And yes, Reece Hendelcox took the victory by just on 0.2 of a second, and here's what he had to say about it. Reece, pole, a win by a little bit bigger margin than your qualifying. How was the battle out there?
Yeah, it was quite good. It was quite close. Just almost put it in the sand trap on the first lap, so we're lucky we sort of finished, but battling was good and race was even better.
So battling with Chris Simon and Kaleb Ngatoa, do you feel you got a bit of an advantage, or is it still pretty close to tell?
Pretty much all 3 cars are the same. It's pretty hard to say who's got a better car at the moment.
So looking forward to tomorrow. You've got pole still. Any expectations on what's going to happen in the race? Maybe the next 3 cars catch up and have a 6-way fight?
I'm hoping it rains, to be honest.
I really don't hope it rains. It's quite nice at the moment.
Yeah, no, well, hopefully we have a repeater last weekend on Sunday.
All right, mate. Thank you and good luck. So with the rain pelting down outside the Toyota High Studios and thunder and lightning in the air, we look forward to tomorrow, where apparently it's going to be fine, Jonathan. And we can look forward to some dry, classic Formula First action. At the end of a championship-changing Sunday for the New Zealand Formula First Championship, we will now review race 8 and 9 of the championship, and I'll bring in our Taupo-based local Formula First expert, Jonathan Morton. Jonathan, race 8, it all looked pretty plain sailing in the race, with until an exclusion after the race, but Chris Simons managing to pinch the win.
Yeah, Chris Simons and Kaleb Ngatoa and Reese had a great battle up front. Back to your traditional Formula First racing, close packs, battling hard.
And of course, there was massive battles all the way down the field, and unfortunately there was that exclusion, which does hamper Reese's championship chances. But here's what Chris Simon had to say about his race. Chris, another close Formula First battle out there. Hot weather, hot racing, but probably a bit too early in the morning, really, to be having it.
It was very hard getting up this morning, being at the track by 7:30. But great to be out there. Good weather, nice and warm now, and yeah.
So pretty close on track. Do you think you've got the car pace to do it again on the third one?
Hoping so. Obviously, safety car and everything in that race bunched everyone up after the start, where we had a bit of a gap. But yeah, we got good straight line speed. We're just working on coming off the corner quicker, and that should help us in the third race today. And
going from 0 to hero, pretty much from the first round to now, you're closing your points in on the championship. Is that just giving you more and more confidence?
It's definitely nice, the numbers coming down the gap, but we've still got to be smart. We've just got to keep banking points now. To get some points on Saturday was a nice feeling for round 3, but we'll see how this afternoon goes.
Cool, thanks there, Chris, and good luck for the third race. Now we move on to race 9 of round 3 here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park, and well, Jonathan, it went off.
It did go off. Once again, it was on your traditional Formula First battle. The same group at the front of Simons, Hindelcox and Kaleb Ngatoa. And then about lap 5, Simon suddenly slowed coming out of turn 5 and pulled off to the infield, and he played no further part in the race. And it appeared to be a straight battle between Kaleb Ngatoa and Reese Hindelcox for the race win, with another battle of Callum Crawley and Conrad Clark fighting it out for the podium. But as we got to the last lap, it all unfolded right in front of our eyes.
Yes, so there was actually a bit of a gap between the top 2, between the top 3 and back to the rest of them, but somehow Conrad Clark and Callum Crawley bridged that gap on the last lap through the infield, and then it all went off from A1.
Yeah, well, Kaleb Ngatoa, our championship leader, he's had no problems. He's had plain sailing this entire season. He went through A1 and broke a steering arm, and he sort of felt like he recovered, continued down the straight, and then all of a sudden got into the brakes. The wheel turned right, he was trying to turn left, and he was off into the tyres.
Oh, it just went off, and when we thought it couldn't get much more exciting, we got down to the chase.
Well, they all went down the chase 3 wide. We had Crawley, Hindelcox and Clark battling out for the deep dive under the brakes, and it looked like when it popped out from behind the tyre when we first saw them, that Crawley was able to hold on to take a lead from out of nowhere and a win. But he got it sideways, looped it round, avoiding action from Hindelcox. He able to get through for the win. Clark got through for second. And I'll tell you what, the star of the show was Amy Smith. Came through for her first podium in the National Championship.
Amy Smith, yes, a podium of the National Championship. So what we'll do is now we'll go over to Reese Hindelcox with some words from him. Reese, another tight battle out there. Exclusion from the second race, but you came back, redeemed yourself quite comfortably there in race 3.
Yeah, we just got to put what happened behind us in race 2 and focus on the championship now.
So that last lap coming into the last corner, and you saw Callum and Conrad behind you, what were you thinking?
Well, sort of in the grass, halfway down the straight, trying to get the inside run. No one wanted to spare an inch, but we ended up out the last corner in first, so that's all that matters.
So looking forward back to Taupo here in Waitangi weekend. You think you can continue this good form that you've got at the moment?
We'll just see what the weather plays out, but the car's got some speed, so I don't think we're going to touch it too much.
Fair enough. Right. Thanks, Reece, and we'll see you Waitangi. And that leads us on to the CMS Limited Hard Charger Award, which this week, after an impressive effort of battling up front, finishing off the weekend with a podium in third place, it goes to Amy Smith. And presenting the CMS Hard Charger Award is Managing Director of CMS Limited, Deborah Hawley. So, Amy, you've been given the Hard Charger Award by Formula First TV. First podium of the weekend, first podium, female on the podium since Christina Orr way back in the early 2000s. How does it feel out there?
Amazing. Honestly, I don't even have the words for it. It was so unreal coming around the last corner. I was in third, and it was like, what just happened?
So, do you think you can continue this on in the next round here in Waitangi weekend?
I'd like to think so. I mean, the car's on rails at the moment, so as long as that keeps up, I should be up there hopefully.
Well done, Amy, and you enjoy that spark plug, and we'll see you here in Waitangi weekend. So that wraps up the first 3 rounds of the New Zealand Formula First Championship pre-Christmas. Jonathan, we've got 5 rounds to go, Waitangi weekend onwards. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, as we see this weekend, the racing's gone off. The championship's exploded. And it's going to be who can regroup and get ready for the final 5, because it all happens pretty quick. So you can't make one mistake from here on out if you want to be crowned the New Zealand champion.
Thanks, Jonathan. We'll drag you out Waitangi weekend when we're back here. Have a good Christmas and New Year. And everyone at home, you have a great Christmas and New Year. And we'll see you back here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park in 2 months' time. See you then.